Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
To all of you. Oh, it's the 23rd day of April right here on our daily show. CJ Nasello, RiverBender.com, and Roku TV. You know what's funny? Every time I don't put my hairspray in, my headphones have to be shrunk down 2 sizes. We got a great show for all of you today. Luis is going to join us on Zoom for the first time. We're going to get the latest on the Cardinals. Man, last night looked pretty cool, and watching Gorman hit that walk-off was nice. We're going to talk maybe about a different approach to the season going forward. We'll also talk about Brian Hudson's return to his hometown, his first big league win, and all that good stuff at 9:20. Then at 10:10, we're talking to Abigail with Nourished Revival, and we're going to get the latest on all the cool things she's working on. She's working with currently Rosewood Chiropractic, who's a supporter of the show and of RiverBender.com. We're going to talk about their partnership, plus some really cool things coming down the pipeline. 10:35, we're going to be talking to the new owners of Eberhart Sign and Lighting, another exciting chapter in the company's history. That all comes your way in the next 2 hours. If you want to be a part of it today, you can. 618-759-7469. Text me. Let me know what you want to talk about today. But at 9:08, here's what's happening around the Riverbend. Make sure you sign up for that daily email update where you can join myself and over 70,000 people that are in the know each and every day of the work week and on Saturdays with Around the Riverbend. We'll take you to Alton first. This has been on the forefront of so many folks' minds in the 618, and in Alton, Dalton Brown is reporting that Alton's 2 dispensary zones will remain the same after a resolution to amend them failed to receive a second on Monday night's Committee of a Whole meeting. The amendment's failure casts uncertainty on the next location of the Alton dispensary, which planned to open in a building unauthorized under the city's current dispensary zone map. The city of Alton is divided into 2 dispensary zones, Zone 1 to the north and Zone 2 to the south, with an ordinance in place to limit the number of dispensaries in the city to 1 per zone. The amended map would have altered Zone 1 to encompass a section in the southeastern portion of the city, to encompass a building at 3401 East Broadway where the Alton dispensary planned to reopen. You might know it as the old Mid-America Credit Union building. Terrace Dispensary Representative Dan Little, who previously accused city officials of gerrymandering the dispensary map to benefit the Alton dispensary, did appear on Monday to ask Committee of the Whole members not to take action on the item. Following Little's comments, the dispensary zone map amendment failed to come to a vote due to the lack of a second. Little also claimed in an email that the proposed remapping of the cannabis zone map will not result in any significant additional tax revenue to the city of Alton, particularly in light of the newly opened Village dispensary by Mr. Wazowski's ownership group in the former Woody's Chicken location. As previously reported on RiverBender.com, we've been following this story closely. Terrace Dispensary ownership is directly linked to Sub-Zero Alton Ops LLC, the Alton Dispensary's former management company, which was accused in a lawsuit with misappropriating Alton Dispensary funds, launching a retaliatory cyber attack against the Alton Dispensary, and more accusations. Sub-Zero was later accused of evicting the Alton Dispensary from their former location and original location at 1400 East Broadway, which Terrace now occupies. Any future proposed location for the Alton Dispensary would not only have to be located within one of the zoning districts, but also within Zone 1 of the original Alton Dispensary zone map. You can follow previous coverage of this on RiverBender.com/news, or for more about the Committee of the Whole meeting, which took place yesterday, April the 22nd. It's available at the RiverBender.com Facebook page or on RiverBender.com/video. Also in the news today, Dan Brandon has this one out of Campsville. The Calhoun County Sheriff's Office has apprehended two on possession of methamphetamine charges. The narrative from the Sheriff's Office is the following. On April the 11th, Calhoun County Deputy Nick McCall conducted a traffic stop on Crawford Creek near Illinois Route 100 near Campsville in Calhoun County. Subsequent to an investigation, the driver, Wayne L. Decker, age 56, of Greenfield, Illinois, was arrested for possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia. Additionally, a passenger, James E. Stanberry, aged 44, of Greenfield, was arrested for the following offenses of possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia. The Sheriff's Office said Decker and Stanberry were arrested without incident and transported to the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. As is now required under the provisions of the Safety Act, both Decker and Stanberry were booked and released with a notice to appear at a later date at the Calhoun County Courthouse. Last week, we were peppered with storms, and now the National Weather Service of St. Louis has confirmed that 9 tornadoes touched down in Illinois and Missouri this past Thursday, April the 18th. 9 tornado designations were as follows: an EF1 in Dorsey and Madison County, an EF0 in Marine, an EF0 in Cahokia, another EF0 near Horseshoe Lake Road, an undetermined speed for a tornado at Coon Station Road in Madison County. In Greenfield, another tornado with speed undetermined. Brookdale Farms in Eureka, an EF1. High Ridge in Jefferson County, Missouri, an EF0. Note this tornado had winds of an estimated 100 miles per hour. And finally, in Standard City in Macoupin County, an EF1 as well. An EF0 tornado is of 65 to 85 miles per hour with wind speeds and normally sparks light damage. An EF1 tornado is of wind speeds of 86 to 110 miles per hour and can do moderate damage. An EF2 tornado has wind speeds of 111 to 135 miles per hour and will do considerable damage. An EF3 has a wind speed of 136 to 165 miles per hour. An EF4 produces a 166 to 200 mile per hour wind speed and does devastating damage. An EF5, that's a tornado that has wind speeds of 200 miles per hour plus and does incredible damage. Sometimes when we do get several weather events, tornadoes can spread over a large area like that, says National Weather Service meteorologist Marshall Fowler. We had many thunderstorms on Thursday that grew into a big line. It created quick, brief tornadoes that were short-lived. Also in the news today, out of Edwardsville, 5 individuals have been charged with unlawful possession of weapons across Madison County, including 3 that were previously charged with burglary, 1 additionally charged with fleeing from police, and more, according to recent court documents. Harold Bradshaw IV, 32, of St. Louis, charged on April the 6th with unlawful possession of weapons by a felon. Bradshaw allegedly carried a Smith & Wesson .45 caliber handgun after previously being convicted of second-degree burglary in 2011 in St. Louis Circuit Court. Madison County Sheriff's Office presented Bradshaw's case, in which he was charged with a Class 3 felony and granted pretrial release. Charles Carricker Jr., 37 of Wood River, charged with a Class 3 felony of unlawful possession of weapons by a felon on February the 17th. Carricker allegedly carried a Beretta 9mm after previously being convicted of burglary in 2006 in Madison County. His latest case presented by the Illinois State Police, and he was granted pretrial release. Dallas J. Hopkins, age 20, of O'Fallon, charged with aggravated unlawful use of weapons and aggravated fleeing or attempting to elude a peace officer. On January the 28th, Hopkins allegedly carried a Glock 19 9mm handgun in his vehicle with no valid FOID card. Hopkins was additionally charged after fleeing police, ignoring signals to stop his vehicle, and disobeying one or more traffic control devices. In total, he faces 2 Class 4 felonies in the case presented by the South Roxana Police Department, and court documents indicate he has been released from custody on pretrial conditions orders. Finally, Dante M.C. Malone, 21, of New Baden, Illinois, was charged with aggravated unlawful use of weapons after allegedly carrying an AR platform rifle in a vehicle that was uncased, loaded, and immediately accessible on March the 30th. Malone faces a Class 4 felony in the case from the Madison County Sheriff's Office and was granted pretrial release. One final bit of news for you today. Alton Little Theater thrilled to invite community members to a series of engaging events, kicking off with an open house this coming Sunday, April the 28th, from 2 to 4 p.m. The gathering offers an exceptional opportunity for early registration for summer youth acting classes running from July the 8th through July the 19th, where attendees will have the chance to meet renowned instructors Kevin Frakes and Lee Cox. The open house also provides a perfect setting to all of your questions being answered about auditioning for this summer's production of Oliver. Auditions are scheduled for Saturday, May the 11th and Saturday, May the 18th, both at 10 a.m. Director Kevin Frakes is eager to find a diverse cast, including a dozen young talents and numerous adult performers aged 18 to 60 plus for this beloved musical, set to run August the 2nd through the 11th. You also don't want to miss out on another highlight from Alton Little Theater, a chance to meet the princesses of Alton Little Theater's Disney Tribute, which is coming our way May 31st through June 9th. A special pancake breakfast party is slated for June 1st with seatings at 9 and 11 a.m., promising a magical morning for all attendees. As an added treat, visitors can enjoy delicious cake and refreshments, enter to win free tickets, and gather information about summer's upcoming attractions. That is an incredible opportunity to connect with the vibrant culture at Alton Little Theater. For more information, altonlittletheater.org. That's altonlittletheater.org, or call the box office, 618-465-3205. And don't forget to tell them that CJ sent you their way. The time is 9:18. It's 62 degrees, and it feels like 61 out there. We are getting some rain today, folks. A 90% chance of precipitation this morning. A morning shower in spots. Then turning colder this afternoon with periods of rain and even a potential thunderstorm. Tonight, clouds will break around 6 to 7 p.m., but expect another shower coming our way from 3 to 5 p.m. Once again, temperatures reach 65 degrees today. They drop down to 43 overnight on Wednesday, the 24th day of April, a high of 67, a low of 43. On Thursday, a high of 68, a low of 54. On Friday, the 26th, a 95% chance of thunderstorms, a high of 73, a low of 65. And on Saturday, a high of 81 degrees. How about that? Yard work getting done, and a low of 66. For time and temperature throughout the day, give this phone number a ring, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Tom Lane. He's your local State Farm agent. We're going to take a quick break. We'll send you off to Skycam real quick, take a look at downtown Alton, and come back with Luis Noya right after this on RiverBender.com.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today. Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
It's a living thing. It's a terrible thing to lose. It's a given thing. What a terrible thing to lose.
9:25. Welcome back. Man, I'm still waking up. I wonder if Luis is too. Let's go talk to Luis. Pitcher in pitcher for the first time ever with Luis. I'm feeling good about this. Luis, why did I keep you on the phone for so long? How are we doing this morning, man?
because we were in radio for so long. So no, let's do a phoner. So yeah, sure.
So
And now we are in the 21st century.
How's everything going over at the dial?
It's good. Everything's good.
Well, so
Everything's good.
Alton folks had some fun this week with the Brewers playing the Cardinals and Brian Hudson picking up his first big league win in front of his hometown. And also, the Cardinals fans had some excitement last night, and it was pretty fun to watch the game in the 7th inning. You didn't need to tune in until then, but it was still fun to watch.
Well, there were interesting moments like Lance Lynn going to first and getting beat out by Comer Carroll for an out. No, again, it was, that's a comic, but yes. The Cardinals needed that win badly, right? The weekend wasn't great. They were struggling. They were in a 4-game losing streak. Got swept for the first time this year. Talks about, hey, what's the difference between this year and last year? Because as of Sunday, they had the same record to that day from last year. So it's like, okay, what's different, right?
So,
and Wilson Contreras was answered that question very good. It's like, we got a lot of chemistry in this clubhouse, and yesterday showed.
Well, you know what? Positive side, it didn't get worse than last year. A positive approach for me, who has dogged this team for months. At least it's not worse than last year.
No, again, yes. Again, the pieces are there for not being the worst last year, but the feeling was right now they're on pace to be like last year, if not worse.
Well, and that's the problem, too. And the thing is, it seems like, Ollie can't catch a break either, man. Hear me out on this. So an article comes out about how, with Whitey passing away, about how Ollie's, trying to take the legacy of the Cardinals managers and keep it going. And don't you think like something, a piece like that sets somebody up for public failure?
Yeah, again, last week was weird because again, you had on Monday? Yeah, Monday, what he passed away, and then you got all these eulogies, and then it's like, and Ollie is trying to create, or not create, try to recreate a little bit of the Whitey ball aspect about manufacturing runs through small balls, bases, stolen bases, bunts, and moving runs here and there. And they can move runners around, but up until yesterday, they were not scoring, right?
Right.
So Ollie is in a tough position, but again, it's not. Again, Ollie's not the one who composed this team, right? It's upper management.
Now, do you think the public really understands that too? Like the not the sports fans, the diehard Cardinals fans, but the ones that are like, passing and adding to that public discourse, whether it's a social media comment. Do the public understand that, do you think?
Yeah, I think the public understands who has the green light to say, yes, we want this guy, or no, we don't want this guy.
And now, how long does John Mozeliak have left on his contract? Just asking for a friend.
2 years.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, take me through some of the positives in the clubhouse. Because, Wilson Contreras says chemistry's up. Because last year, you could definitely see it just as a fan. There was something. It just didn't have the same vibe like a normal Cardinals clubhouse used to have. But this year, do you start to see a little bit of remnants of a couple of years prior?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Again, veteran leadership, and again, that's in the sense of Lance Lynn. Kyle Gibbs is one of those guys that is a sneaky leader right there too. Wilson Contreras can be himself, and that's something that he has said that this year's gonna be better because I can be myself. There's nobody saying you cannot be yourself.
Right.
So, and then you got again Newbar that can be a leader. Donovan, it's one of those leaders in the clubhouse too. So we got a lot of good people leading, and that's a very good thing to see compared to last year.
Well, and too, Steven Matz is only at a 3.60 ERA, so life's looking good for me over here, Luis. Take me through what they're going to.
I think that's why we did the phone calls for the longest time. People my reaction when you said Steven Matt's name.
Well, going forward, are the Cardinals going to look to do anything? Because they aren't really a team that, makes a big splash at the trade deadline all the time. It happens occasionally. This year, do you see them really being active in anything, or are they just trying to kind of figure it out, let's get through the season type of mentality? I know it's early.
It's very early to say. Again, it depends where they're at, right? Again, any good team that wins the World Series before the one bad month, that's just straight up fact. If you see their records, they always have a bad month. But again, they got one of the things I want to say here is like they're wasting 2 roster spots, and it's like Matt Carpenter's situation. That's okay. He's still on the lineup. He's in the IL, but again, he's your last man off the bench.
Right.
Then you got the backup shortstop. That's another thing. It's like a lot of teams are playing with a 26-man roster, but this team feels like they're playing with a 24.
That's a good point.
And I don't mean that to say, those 2 players are not important in any way. There's a reason why, but it's like they could get more in that depth of the bench.
Well,
I know Tommy Edman is trying to get back. I know stuff like that again will improve, and maybe those are the little moves that say, "Hey, thanks for your time of service." Where you have to make a move here, like in June or July here. So.
Well, and on top of moves, I think something that Cardinals fans have been doing kind of a little rough at lately is looking at, guys that move down the pipeline like an O'Neill and go, here we go again, leaves the Cardinals and hits 9 home runs. It's like, guys, he did that for us and he got hurt within 4. He's made of glass, There's a reason we get rid of these people. And I don't know, like he's already on the injured list with a concussion. It's not like it's going to be long term, but the injury bug's going to plague him too. But what are your thoughts on this? Because all we do is we go, well, see, now they're doing better for a different team and they didn't do it with us. It's deflating, I think.
Well, I think the example this year might be Jordan Hicks.
Yeah.
So then Tyler O'Neill is like he goes to San Francisco. Again, he tried to be a starter here. Didn't work out, goes back to bullpen, gets injured, and then San Francisco, the pitching staff in San Francisco, turns him to start, tells him, hey, when you're starting, do not throw 100%. Control your speed because then you'll last longer. And he's been doing very, very well in San Francisco. So I think that the guy that may be is, again, if Tyler O'Neill plays 140 games, 160 games.
It'll be a miracle.
Again, he will have numbers. He plays 130 games, he'll have good numbers. So, but again, he already is on the IL. Again, concussion, freak injury, whatever.
Right.
He doesn't have collision.
Right.
But again, the concussions have effects afterwards too. It's not like, again, talk to a lot of people again. Talk to Yadier Molina. Talk to any football player that has a concussion. It takes a while after you're cleared.
Well, and too, I mean, the concussion's one thing, but whenever you get hit with a 2-seamer in the wrist, for him it's over. I mean, he really just can't take it.
Yeah. Guy built by muscle, gonna get that. Yeah.
Well, and you know what I'm noticing too, just watching how you do your post game and seeing some of the Valley sports stuff, is the guys are more apt to kind of have more honest conversations this year than they were last year. I think last year I was so frustrated because of the eggshell mentality, where it was like no one wanted to say the obvious, the quiet part out loud with the team for a long time. It was kind of just the cut and dry answers. But now this year, you can tell the guys feel like, you know what, at least we can take that weight off of our shoulders and just talk.
Yeah, even a guy like Goldie that's just been known for being not being boring, but it's like being like, okay, you know what he's gonna say. He's like, oh, he's been actually getting good answers this year, right? And Gorman, dude, yesterday, it's like, yeah, I just I got there the 9th inning. I just wanted to do damage, right? And that's his mentality, and he did.
Right.
And so on the first pitch, and that's the other thing that was a little bit of a opening here. It's like, if you want to do damage, if you're a player that wants to do damage, you better be ready to swing at that first pitch. And a lot of these players before yesterday were taking that first pitch or missing that first pitch. And That's where you create strikeouts or fly balls. This team, for it to be good, or as good as they want to be, they have to put the ball in play. And what's putting the ball in play? It's not putting the ball in in the air. It's hard line drives, hard ground balls, create chaos, right? Create chaos in the base pass. And if they do that, then the home runs will come like yesterday.
What is the what's the next couple of weeks look like for this team? I mean, is it something to where maybe they can get a couple of wins under their belt heading into May, feeling a little better, or do they got a tough road ahead of them?
Yeah, they are going again. They're gonna go and do the homestand here. They're gonna finish that, and then day off on Thursday. Again, they got a lot of days off on Thursday. This coming homestand. So I'm pulling up their schedule right now, and yeah, they go to the Mets, and then they go to Detroit before hosting the White Sox the first weekend of May. So they got, again, the Mets are still the Mets. So again, they're still a good team. But Detroit has been winning lately, and then obviously the White Sox and that disaster. And then they play the Mets at home after the White Sox.
I heard the Mets have illegal slot machines in their clubhouse.
That would be interesting. You know what? In the interest of promoting my people, I think if you get McGraw Milhaven about that, he might spend 35 hours straight talking about why.
I'm telling you, I roll the dice every morning. Is it illegal slot machines? Is it late start times? What are we getting hit with today? I like that rumor. I think that's the next Onion story. Illegal slot machines in the Mets clubhouse. Let's talk hockey. How are the Blues looking this offseason? Because now we got another 48 months of postseason hockey before we get back to offseason time. What do the Blues look like to do here in this layover period?
But here's the thing: before before I tell you about the Blues layover period, the 48 months of hockey, whenever the Blues are in the mix, it's the greatest thing in the world.
It is. That's true. That is very true.
So again, whenever the Blues, like the past 2 years? Yeah, 2 or 3 years. Yeah. I'm going. Wait, they did the Cup in 19. Bubble in 20, 21, they lost against the Colorado Avalanche, 22, 23, 24. The past 3 years, there hasn't been a postseason.
Right.
And this year, the first move they're gonna make is to see who is gonna be our head coach going into next season.
Do you think do you think he stays? I don't. I think that it was a fun ride. Thanks for managing the ship, but thanks, but no thanks.
If you don't ask me, I'm gonna say this percentage chances because I really don't know what they want. And if you asked me 6-8 weeks ago, I said no. Like he's just a guy as buffer, but then he coached the team to the point that they had a chance, right? So
right.
That earned him some points. So I think it's still no, but I put it in like a 20% that he gets the job. Again, I think the Blues want a guy that has experience, familiarity with the system they want.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of factors brewing in. So it's going to be very interesting. And I don't know if they're going to let the 48 months of playoffs breathe to see who gets canned in the middle of that too, or are they going to make a move here soon because I don't know which direction they're gonna make. I don't know if they're gonna take their time or it's like we need one now.
Well, the Blues need to be really, really thankful to their fans too, because they're in a point where 3 years of no playoffs gets frustrating. You know, especially when you win a Stanley Cup and you're competing. So it's a real testament too. I mean, the fans are still showing up until the season's officially over. I mean, we all knew that the nail was in the coffin 2 weeks beforehand, and they were still showing up.
Oh yeah, and it again, the fans are a little bit frustrated with some people, but it's like because also it's not the players and whatever, and we can talk about Cairo and all that stuff, but also it's like this was supposed to be the run,
right?
Like from 2019 till now, And obviously, a lot of stuff happened. I will say this, including COVID, happened too.
Well, and that's, no one wants to talk about that because the argument is, and I get the argument on the other side of this coin is, well, everyone had to adapt to it. Yes and no. This was different.
Yeah, and the Blues players didn't want to be in the bubble.
Well, that too, but also the COVID, NHL and COVID messed up, and it's taken every ounce of me not to curse right now on the show. It really ruined Midwestern programs because they were handicapped in a way or handcuffed in a way, where it's like it felt like the Western and Eastern Coast teams were able to move a little bit more and get to games or have a little bit more of a flexibility, and the Midwestern teams were kind of stuck on these grueling schedules where you were gone and then you were tight and you were locked in and it just seemed not really productive for us, Luis. It just didn't seem like it was really beneficial.
Yeah, yeah. Talking to you now, it's like what they had like 7 games straight against in 21 against the Arizona Coyotes, something like that.
Right.
It felt like a playoff series, and it's like, hey, we were joking with Baru. He's like, hey, well, it's 2-1 series, right? Well, it's just game number, 20 of the season, right? So
right.
It's like he wasn't trying to get our jokes at that time. But no, yeah, and it wasn't only the Blues, like you said. It's like a lot of the Midwestern teams because their location. Oh no, they can go from here to here to here to here to here to here to here.
Right. Well, and speaking of that, we'll just kind of have to wait and see what happens. Let's talk St. Louis City because ties kill you. And this is what I kept saying at the start of the season. It was like, it was great that we're getting points, but we got to find 3 more than just once or twice. We're in 8th. It's not looking too bad, but it's to the point where we got to start finding a way to be a little bit more aggressive and saying, you know what, do we even want the 1 point or are we going for 3? Because it just seems like we're just getting really we're getting the short end of the stick here into the points margin, You
and I think alike, and we're in the minority here because that tie that they got on
killed them
Saturday, and again, they got the point, but it got celebrated like they did something.
Exactly. Thank you. I thought the same thing. I'm like, this is not good behavior for us to be partaking in. You're cheering on a team that did what they were supposed to do and technically really didn't even do that.
No, well, again, it's like I can get getting a tie whenever you were supposed to get a tie.
Right.
That's fine. I go, well, we got the point, whatever. Yeah, but it got celebrated because we didn't lose against Kansas City. It's like, okay, like congratulations, you lose. It's not a losing streak, but it's still a winning streak.
You're right.
Let's have to go through in a winning streak again. And yes, Klaus is getting better, better by game getting,
right.
But they allowed 3 goals again.
Well, and
they allowed 3 goals again.
The thing is, too, I mean, you can't. That's not the attitude of a championship caliber team. You don't just win a conference last year and go, oh, hey, we tied. What the hell? I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, well, that could have been worse. Should have been the reaction. It happens. Move on. But this platforming we were doing as a community this last weekend for this, well, we tied Kansas City and we didn't lose. It's like, that's what losers say. That's what losing teams react with. That is what the Oakland A's would say if they got beat by the Yankees by 4 instead of 40.
Could have been worse.
It could have been worse. It's like, what are we doing here? How much longer do they have to go until their postseason starts? They got a while, don't they?
People think baseball takes a while to go. It's from to October. The soccer season is from, if you're lucky or unlucky enough, depends how you view it, right?
Right.
It's from mid to late February to, if you go and win and go into the championship, it ends in December.
Oh, that's right. And then you have 3 weeks, and then I remember I remember that nightmare on our show, or on the show here a couple months ago. Now that you were talking about this again, but going forward, what is the team looking to do? Has Parnell said anything about maybe doing a little bit different in terms of how they're going to start attacking this? Attacking the game, because it's just really not where it needs to be to really consider yourself a contender.
Here's the thing. I think Carnell is trying everything that he can, and the team has got. There's glimpses here and there how the team can actually be. They're still missing some pieces because of the injury bug, but I don't know. I think they're gonna make the playoffs. I don't know if they're gonna make a run. That's where I think that's where this team's cap it is, right?
Right. And
they're gonna make the playoffs because there's 8, 10 teams that make the playoffs. I don't know how many teams make the playoffs. It's a lot. It's harder not to make the playoffs than to make the playoffs in the MLS.
Well, and the good thing about it is too, even if they just make it and hang on for a game or a series, that's better than last year. And I think that's the bigger picture mindset to have at this point.
Yeah. Again, and people have to remember, this team is still in its infancy. It's his second year in existence in the MLS. Expecting bigger goals like the Blues. Again, the Blues went to the Stanley Cup Finals in 3 straight years, lost them all because, again, it showed that an expansion team still needed time. Again, they were swept all those 3 years, again, and by legacy teams.
Right.
Boston Bruins and the Montreal Canadiens. And that's fine.
Well, sorry.
It's I think the casual fan knows about this and they're like patient. The people that are the voices on X, Twitter, Facebook that go a little more insane, the fantasm is getting into them a little bit.
I agree. Hey, before I let you go, here's some sports trivia for you. On this date in history, this baseball player hit his first major league home run, and that's Ted Williams in 1939. Also, on this date in history, I just had it. It was pretty cool. Oh, yeah, the first ever baseball game. The Chicago Federals host the Kansas City Packers in the first game played at Wrigley Field.
There we go.
There you go. There's some sports history for you, Luis. What are you working on this week? Anything exciting?
Tomorrow Cardinals. City has a bye. I think they have a bye week. I haven't gone to the weekend schedule just yet. But again, focusing on hockey and a lot of and then for my pleasure, the NBA playoffs. So again, it's a good time to be a sports fan. It's a good time. And then we forgot to mention the new basketball head coach in SLU, Josh Schertz, is doing a lot of moves.
Wait, who is he? I don't know anything about this guy.
So he is the person that coached Indiana State for the past 3 years.
Oh, okay.
And then before that, he was killing it in the Division II ranks.
Mm-hmm.
And he got yesterday Isaiah Soap, the point guard from Indiana State, moved on to SLU. But on Friday, if you know, Robbie Avila, or as his nickname is, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, committed to SLU. So again, there's a lot of exciting things that's going on in SLU. And again, the transfer era was good until it wasn't. But the Josh Schertz era is started to heat up, and it's only the preseason, so
we'll have to see.
There's a lot good things. The SLU basketball might be very fun this year.
Right. Well, and that's good. The Billiken fans need a good season, so let's hope it all goes well. Hey, Luis, before I let you go, I got to tell you something, man. I haven't gotten my trash picked up again for 2 or 3 weeks. I think actually I'm going on week 4. And, I don't know if it's something I said. I don't know if it's because I maybe equated it to the mafia unions in Rome and how the turnaround times are. I don't know if it's because I may or may not have had a sponsor, and I still do, that has taken on the big conglomerate and is not just doing the job. They're beating the big conglomerate, and that's Sparks Junk Removal. So I've told you about this. This guy that tried to beat me up at work, this was like a year ago for the folks at home. Well, now I've been on this like weird like Curb Your Enthusiasm, one of those spite stores, you know, but this is like a spite trash service, okay? So like all of my, I'll put my trash can out, okay? Hear me out. Well, then I'll have my trash can, my neighbor's trash can, my neighbor's trash can. Theirs gets taken, mine stays, and I put mine out at like the night before. So I don't know what I'm doing, but all I can tell you is this. If you're having trouble like me, Sparks Junk Removal is the way to go if you're outside the city of Alton, because, Luis, our city has a wonderful trash contract that we cannot get out of and opt out of, so we're kind of stuck. But if you aren't in the city of Alton, you get those purple and yellow trash cans that are mating like bunny rabbits, and it all starts at sparksjunkremoval.net. And you know, Luis, you got any neighbors in your apartment complex or neighborhood that got a bunch of junk lying around? You're getting ready to report them?
I'll report them, but they're getting close.
Well, it's happening here in Alton in the Riverbend. It's getting ready to be summer, folks, and that means it's time to get those backyards cleaned up. Your neighbor's already reported you twice to your alderman. You got to call Sparks Junk Removal and let her take care of that. She's the queen of junk for a reason for 30-plus years, and now for the next 30, she's the queen of trash pickup, too. SparksJunkRemoval.net. Reclaim your space today, Luis. I'll give you a call later this evening.
Nice.
9:51's the time. We'll take a quick break. Wrap up the 9 right after this.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, Free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Riverbender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Where'd you go? Welcome back to our daily show. The time's 9:54 in downtown Alton, and on this date in history, let's take a quick gander. doing a little gandering on a Tuesday morning. How about that? While I have you, make sure you guys, if you haven't yet, get your Hainer Library card. I didn't get a chance to talk about them during the top of the hour newscast, but Hainer Library, folks, really is the door to so much potential. It's just a door. And we had Renee on, who was talking about Puzzle Me This, which I think is so cool. Yet another thing I just learned about Hainer Library. And I've been talking about them for almost a year, and I'm still learning. So I know that there's a good chance that there's still so much more that you can learn about the many resources that await you at our public institution. Hainer Library, whether or not you need them for their genealogy, local history portion of the library located at 401 State Street. The Friends of Hainer with those wonderful book sales when they start getting up and running again in that building over down the road past the genealogy building, or the downtown location, the Alton Square Mall location. Their new partnerships with Jacoby Art Center where where they're partnering up and having these really cool free concerts for the public to attend with their families and friends and just to enjoy those cool summer nights right here in the 618. The door to adventure, the door to learning, the door to discovery starts with your Hainer Library card, and you can get it today by visiting HainerLibrary.org. That's HainerLibrary.org. On this date in history, William Shakespeare, born on this date. According to tradition, the great English dramatist and poet William Shakespeare is born in Stratford-on-Avon on April the 23rd, 1564. It is impossible to be certain on the exact day on which he was born, but church records do show that he was baptized on the 26th of April, and 3 days was a customary amount of time to wait before baptizing a newborn. Shakespeare's death is conclusively known. However, it was April the 23rd, 1616. He was 52 years old and had retired to Stratford 3 years before. I did not know that he died on the same day he was born. That's very fascinating. There you go. And man, 52 back in the 1500s, that's a pretty good life. Oh, well, hold on, because I just exited out of my prep sheet. It was such a good piece of history, I just exited out of it. So William Shakespeare, born on this date. Other important notes on this date in history: Chrysler in 1987 on this date purchases Lamborghini, the Italy-based maker of the high-priced, high-performance cars. They purchased the luxury automaker on this date in 1987. On this date in 1945, less than 2 weeks after taking over as President of the United States following the death of FDR, Harry Truman gave a tongue-lashing to Soviet Foreign Minister Molotov. That happened on this date in 1945. In 1969, Sirhan received the death penalty after being convicted of the assassination of political figure Robert F. Kennedy. He was sentenced to death in 1969. However, in 1972, the sentence was commuted to life in prison after California abolished the death penalty. Also, on this date in history, Judy Garland was one of the biggest and most popular movie stars of all time, making her first film appearance at the age of 7 and earning the first of 3 Oscar nominations. She had the opportunity to perform for the public on this date in history at Carnegie Hall. In 1791, James Buchanan is born on this date in history, the future president, born in Cove Cape near Mercersburg, Pennsylvania. Buchanan, remembered mostly for his administration's, corruption and his failure to solve the country's crisis over slavery and what many historians blame for the start of the Civil War. In 1954, Hank Aaron knocks out the first home run of his big league career. 20 years later, Aaron would become baseball's new home run king, but he hit his first home run on the 23rd of April, 1954. In 1975, at a speech at Tulane University, President Gerald Ford said the Vietnam War is finished as far as America is concerned. On this date in music, let's see if we have time for a few quick little pieces of history. In 2008, guitarist Bon Jovi guitarist Richie Sambora was sentenced to 3 years of probation after admitting to driving under the influence of alcohol. The 48-year-old, who was not at the court hearing, would also have to attend offender alcohol awareness classes. He was arrested in Laguna Beach after his car was seen weaving between traffic lanes. In 2008, Amy Winehouse went out on a drink and drug-fueled spree and hit and headbutted 2 men after drinking all day. Amy visited the Good Mixer pub in Camden, London, with guitarist Milk Whitnall. Inside, she allegedly punched an individual in the face after he refused to give way to her at the pool table. The singer then left to visit Bar Talk in the early hours, and once at the bar shouted, "I am a legend. Get these people out. I want to take drugs." After leaving the bar, a Good Samaritan tried to get her a cab, but reportedly thought he was trying to assault her and allegedly headbutted him in the face. The sad downturn of Amy Winehouse, but such a talented musician. In 1992, George Michael announced he was donating $500,000 in royalties from the sale of Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me to various British and American charities. In 1988, Roy Orbison celebrated his 52nd birthday at a Bruce Springsteen concert, during which the audience sang "Happy Birthday" to him. In 1987, Carole King sued record company owner Lou Adler for breach of contract. King claimed that she was owed over $400,000 in royalties. She also asked for all the rights to her recordings. One final one. In 1971, the Rolling Stones released their classic Sticky Fingers in the United Kingdom, the band's first release on their own label via Atlantic Records. The cover was designed by Andy Warhol, who was paid $15,000 for his efforts. The LP sleeve featured a close-up of a pair of jeans with a working zip, widely assumed to be that of Mick Jagger. The crotch photographed for the cover was actually that of actor Joe D'Alessandro. That's what happened on this date in history. The time's 10:02. We'll come back with top of the hour news next, right after this on RiverBender.com.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
Dream Home Realty Center. Hey, Sherry. Talk to me, Dream Team. We've got showing.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Man, Scotty McCreary's great. 10:04. Welcome back to our daily show. Top of the hour news now in this 10 o'clock portion of our daily show out of Alton. A really great program. The Wellness Center at SSP, a Rock Steady boxing affiliate, will be hosting a Walk of Fame for the program's participants April the 30th from 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. Here's some more details on this wonderful class. Parkinson's disease is a neurodegenerative disorder that does affect the dopamine-producing neurons in a particular portion of the brain. Progression of the disease varies from person to person and usually develops slowly over the years. People with PD experience various symptoms, both motor and non-motor, including tremors, slowness, and paucity of movement, limb stiffness, postural instability, depression, anxiety, orthostatic hypotension, and other cognitive impairments. The month of April is Parkinson's Awareness Month, and organizations across the world work to bring attention to the life-changing disease and connect those who are affected to resources that provide support and programs like Rock Steady Boxing. Rock Steady Boxing has had a tremendous effect on our clients, not only on the physical side of their condition, but also on their confidence, says Connor Schroburn, head coach of the Rock Steady Boxing program at SSP. I have seen individuals light up, smile, joke around. It helps with their ability to socialize, make light of the situation, knowing that there are others who are like them. Overall, it's a great community, which is what we need. SSP also offers Parkinson's disease support groups, not only for those with PD, but also for caregivers. The Parkinson's disease support group meets every second Wednesday of the month from 2 to 3 p.m., and the caregiver support group meets every second Tuesday of the month from 2 to 3 p.m. For more information on Rock Steady Boxing or the PD support groups, you can call 618-465-3298, extension 109 today. Also in the news today, the Grafton Art Gallery is thrilled to announce its grand opening on Saturday, May 25th. The gallery will open its doors to art enthusiasts, collectors, and the community at large, offering a vibrant collection of art in a historic building. The grand opening will feature a curated exhibit titled Honor, showcasing works by veterans and local artists. Attendees will have the opportunity to experience a diverse range of artistic styles and mediums, from paintings and sculptures to digital art and installations. For more information, you can visit graftonartgallery.us. That's graftonartgallery.us, or call 618-541-0923. Let's take a quick check at weather. The time is 10:08. It's 64 degrees. It feels like 66. Bring on the humidity today. A brief shower potentially this morning, or even a few, then turning colder this afternoon with periods of rain and the potential of even a thunderstorm. Tonight, clouds will be breaking way for some clear skies. However, the temperatures will be cooler than we're used to experiencing the last couple of weeks. A 97% chance of precipitation, a high of 65 today. That's going to start dropping here in just a few minutes. And then a low temperature of 41 degrees on Wednesday, a high of 67, a low of 43. On Thursday, a high of 67, a low of 54. On Friday, a 99% chance of thunderstorms is what they're calling for currently. That'll change by 10:30, a high of 73, a low of 65. On Saturday, the 27th of April, no rain in the forecast, a high of 81, a low of 68. For time and temperature throughout the day, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Tom Lane. He's your local State Farm agent. And while I have you, are you looking for a fresh start on the road to recovery? A life free from addiction is possible, and it starts at Centerstone. Centerstone is a national leader in mental health and substance use disorder treatment for people of all ages, with a commitment to delivering care that truly, and I mean truly, changes people's lives. Centerstone's dedicated clinicians use evidence-based practices in their treatment program. So this means the recovery care plan developed for you is based on the latest science. Listen, if you're in this path right now when you're trying to figure out what's up, what's down. I get it. There's so many unknowns on the road to recovery. But one thing you can know for sure is that Centerstone will be a constant guiding force for you on your recovery journey. Addiction, it can happen to anybody. But so can recovery. So start working towards your recovery today by visiting Centerstone online at recoverwithus.org. That's recoverwithus.org, or by calling 1-877-HOPE-123. For more information today, you can also join Centerstone and myself on the first and last Wednesday of each month where we tackle this very important topic. And tomorrow we'll be talking with Diane to learn more about their fellowship house. 1010 Nourished Revival. They're up next. Oh, wait, no, they aren't. We got to take a look at Skycam. I've been doing that to you a lot, too much lately. We all want to take a look at the beauty that is the heart of the 618 in downtown Alton. Skycam, then Nourished Revival next, right here on RiverBender.com.
No matter the season, Played Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Played Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Much more fun. You know that only the good die young.
Welcome back, 10:15. Sorry, I'm a little late. I've been late lately. I've been real late lately. Like yesterday, I didn't get done till 11:30. You know, the show's supposed to end at 11. You know,
Going on.
yeah, you know, it happens. Rosewood Chiropractic was a very timely commercial.
Yes.
Abigail, how's everything been?
It has been great. 2024 is proving to be a very exciting year. I have a lot going on, a lot in the works already, even coming up and planning later in the year. I'm just very excited about being involved in the community and providing support.
So take me through the partnership or the work being done at Rosewood.
Yes, so as of last month, this month, kind of, I am consulting for Rosewood Chiropractic, Dr. Dykman, now doing nutrition there. So I'm really excited to be meeting new faces and getting, again, involved in the community more. He ended up kind of doubling his practice, basically. He expanded on, so he has me there. He has a massage therapist there now, as well as a nurse practitioner as well.
Wow.
So he is really looking to provide kind of as many holistic services in one place as he can for people.
Well, and that's really nice because, you know, the one positive over so much bad that comes with the opioid epidemic is the awareness raised for different options to not maybe go into pain medicine and take a pill, but to go and try something maybe that's a little bit different than a service you've tried before, and seeing if that's the safer way and the healthier way to heal our ailments.
Yes, and there's so much in mind and body connection when it comes to your health and how you're feeling, and having all of these services in one building is really supporting that overall goal.
100%. And now take me through how the first month went.
It has been really exciting. I walked in on my first day there, and as soon as I walked in, somebody was already ready to talk with me, which is like the best thing you could ever have happen whenever you're newly doing something.
Right.
And so it's really cool getting to talk with new people, especially in person, because I work from home, and so I'm seeing people usually over Zoom calls. So having this in-person connection, getting to actually...
The human interaction.
Yes, has been really nice.
Now, how did this all come about?
So I had, again, with 2024, wanted to get in the community more, and I happened to walk into his door, and he was like, I'm actually looking to expand. And so it was really just perfect timing, like it was meant to be, walking in there.
Well, and since you've been, you know, kind of boots on the ground over with Rosewood and working with some of the patients there, take us through your experience and what your kind of takeaways are for Rosewood, and maybe a plug, if you would, for the folks that haven't stopped in yet that need probably to check out their great services.
You know, one thing that he said to me whenever we were initially talking was, he was like, if you are in this business because you are looking to make a lot of money, you are doing it wrong. If you are here to help people, then you're my kind of person. And I was like, exactly right. I loved that right off the bat. He was like, I'm not here for the money. I am here to help people. And that makes such a big difference whenever you're coming from that place of actually wanting to make a difference in people's lives.
100%. And now, how are you managing the balance of the Rosewood patients and then your own too?
It's perfect because he has me kind of on my own schedule. So
that's cool.
I'm there once a week right now, kind of alternating days for what works for my schedule, and then otherwise I'm also there based on availability. If somebody is needing to meet with me at a different time than I'm there, then we can schedule that as well.
And how do your services go hand in hand with what Dr. Dykman has already been doing at Rosewood?
So he's, you know, working a lot on the physical aspect of people's health, you know, making sure that they're moving appropriately, but nutrition, what you're eating, is kind of the building blocks for how you're able to move. And so he's hearing people still having gut issues. There's still people coming in talking about, oh, I've got such bad sugar cravings. There's more going on than just the physical aspects that he can help with.
Well, and that's actually a good point that I never even asked you about before, is the whole gut issue thing. Because there's so many people in our community that have really bad, it's not like they have IBS, but they have symptoms like IBS, and they can't even function at work, or go through their day-to-day because they're constantly, uncomfortable.
Yeah, gut issues are really prevalent anymore. I've had my own source of gut issues, so I completely relate to people that are struggling like that. And it kind of goes down to our diet, basically, our lifestyle. We are really busy, and when we're busy, we kind of get more like into a habit of I have to eat versus I need to eat.
Right.
And so that can kind of mess with our gut whenever we aren't making eating a priority. We're just kind of forcing down food really quick. And then also just we're eating a lot on the go, grabbing more packaged foods, maybe things that aren't necessarily providing great for our gut health.
Yeah.
And so that can kind of take a toll over time too.
So probably not the best thing to eat 2 full packages of those little Krabby Patty gummies yesterday, huh?
It's about balance too.
That's right.
That's the thing.
Well, and that's a really good way, a really great incentive for the patients over at Rosewood too, and that work with you there, because you're very natural with your approach. It's not like you're telling folks, listen, you better not ever go back to that Milky Way bar, because you got to have balance. And that's what I think is really good with how you approach your clients and how you interact, because we're all people, and sometimes it's okay to have that candy bar, and it's okay to have those things. It's just all about, balancing all of the different categories of nutrition.
Yes, absolutely. I had somebody I met with there that was saying, she's like, either something's wrong with me or I'm just missing something, I'm doing something wrong. And I was like, what if both of those are going hand in hand? The things that maybe you are doing or aren't doing are making it feel like there's something wrong with you. That's not actually the problem.
Right. Well, and two, the unsureness and anxieties that come with that, because you're going, man, what the hell? You aren't thinking about it all the time, but every couple of weeks you're like, why are these cravings here? Why am I feeling this way? Why does my stomach keep having this happen every couple of weeks? And it drains you. It really does just drain you.
Oh, yeah.
And what is your kind of your thought for folks that maybe are going down that rabbit hole? Maybe they have some issues like that. They want to talk with you. What's that turnaround time normally look? Because it's not going to be a quick fix. It takes a little bit to get back on track, right?
Oh, absolutely. And of course, it takes time to get where you are now. It seems like overnight you kind of wake up and you feel like you're a mess.
Yeah.
But it took time to get where you are. So it takes a little time to then feel better. But I do a 3-month program with every single person I work with on purpose because of the fact it takes time to build new habits, but then it also takes time to get where you want to be. I have clients within the first couple of weeks already start to notice a difference, but really to get the results that you're wanting, 3 months, that 90 days is a great amount of time.
Well, and that's the other thing too. For folks that maybe get discouraged, and 2 weeks in and, a month in and nothing's really getting better, it still kind of feels the same. What's your kind of notion to kind of keep them pushing forward too?
I love the fact that I'm working personalized with every single person. So I am in their corner versus if somebody is looking on the internet trying to figure out what's working, that's where it's easy to get discouraged. When you're like, I've tried this, it's not working. Versus when you're working with me, I can actually sit down and talk with you to see what are you doing? And if this isn't working, let's take a different approach and do something else instead that maybe will work.
Right. Well, and on top of that too, whenever someone's going in to see Dr. Dykman, has there been any correlation yet to, maybe some of their experiences, their pain management maybe becoming more satisfactory with maybe some of their diet choices too? Does it go hand in hand?
It absolutely can. Joint pain is a big thing people will experience, or even if people have more sedentary lifestyles, you'll experience more aches from sitting a lot. And so those can go hand in hand with what I'm helping people with, because joint pain, a lot of that is going to depend on your diet. We don't necessarily realize how much what we're eating and drinking can impact our joints. But inflammation is a big thing. with joint pain, and that's driven a lot by our food and our lifestyle. And same with like sitting a lot. That's one thing that I really work on with every client as well, is incorporating some sort of movement into their day that they actually enjoy.
Right. Well, and what's the best way for folks to reach out with you about the experiences at Rosewood? If they want to kind of learn more about maybe what Dr. Dykman offers in Rosewood as a whole on top of what you provide, what's the best way for folks to do that?
So I am just having people contact me is the simplest way to get answers. You message me, call me, and you will get me. My number is 217-851-7447. That is the best way, just to, if you have any questions, you're looking to talk more, to contact me.
And it works, you know. Well, and now you have another opportunity for folks to come see you. Fill me in on this sourdough bread making class.
Yes, I am so excited. On May 4th, it's Saturday, in a week from Saturday.
Isn't that crazy that May's already here? That's just nuts.
I know. I am partnering with Party on Broadway here in Alton and hosting a sourdough for beginners class. And so I'm really excited about that. Sourdough is becoming really prevalent in the community. You hear a lot more people trying to get into sourdough. And so I'm really excited to walk people through creating their own starter and teaching them how to go from starter to your delicious loaf of bread.
That's great. How long have you been making sourdough?
I have been doing it for about 6 months now. I tried for almost a year off and on prior to that. It took me 3 starter attempts before I finally got it. And the thing that made the difference for me was somebody else showed me how they did their starter. And then all of a sudden it was like, okay, I got this. Like, things just started happening. So now that I'm to a point where it's, you know, nothing for me to do my sourdough baking, it's like clockwork, I got this down. I'm like, I want to teach other people who maybe have struggled or have just felt like it's kind of daunting to take on sourdough, that it doesn't have to be so scary.
And now, when's that again? May 4th?
May 4th. It's at 10 a.m.
And how long's the class?
30 to 45 minutes. It's going to be really straightforward.
Yeah, that's really cool for folks to kind of get in and learn what they need to do and then get on down the road.
Yes, yeah. Everybody will walk out with their own sourdough starter and a loaf of bread to go with it as well, so you can kind of anticipate what your loaf should be like whenever you bake it.
Really cool. And now, what's the best way for folks to sign up and RSVP and all that good stuff for the sourdough bread making class?
Again, I am having people just contact straight to me.
Easiest way.
Yes. If you text me the word party, my number is 217-851-7447, then I will send you the link to get registered. Class is $20. That covers getting your own starter, and I'm going to provide instructions then for how to continue on with your starter, how to bake your first loaf of bread.
Really cool. And for more updates on Nourished Revival, what's the Facebook page?
I am at Nourished Revival on Facebook, or my website is NourishedRevival.com.
It's always good talking to you. You're always doing some good stuff. Keep coming back. This is really good. I always like to learn more about your partnerships and your collaborations. Really fun to see it grow.
I'm so glad to be here always. I have something really exciting actually I'm announcing next week, so I am hoping to be back in the next few weeks.
You better. You got to come back on and fill us in some more.
Absolutely.
At 10:27, we'll take a quick pause here. Our daily show continues on this Tuesday morning right after this on RiverBender.com, Roku TV.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Timber!
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. Welcome back. Daily Show hitting you at 10:32 on this Tuesday morning. Michael Romshek. See, I was nervous. I was nervous about this, man. Well, Eberhart Sign and Lighting, this is really cool. So you are now the new owner, you and your wife are, and acquired in December?
End of December,
and
officially.
Now the weather's warming up, and I'm sure that season's starting to get a little bit busier. How are things looking month 4?
Good. Hectic, but we got a good team in place, so it's kind of made the transition super easy.
Well, it's really exciting to take over a business anytime, but whenever you have one that has a little bit of a legacy to it and some lineage, it's even more exciting. And, take me through those conversations. What led up to, the December acquisition?
Well, so I think you and I talked about it too. So my wife and I were looking for an opportunity to step away from our day jobs and have full ownership of something to actually work on a day-to-day basis. And Eberhart started in, I think it was 1936 is the official date. So having that long-term representation, especially in the community of Edwardsville, at least the Metro East, including kind of around here too, just an opportunity to step into something that's worth something. And from a marketing standpoint, do stuff like this, but the understanding and it's a great business. So.
Well, and now I got to ask you, did you ever find yourself, do you ever look back and go, man, 20 years ago or 10 years ago, I would have never thought I'd been in the sign and lighting business,
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that's when you think about, your career and how things are going to
Yeah.
progress, right? Yeah. So if you would have said I would have been doing this, absolutely not. But from actually taking over and getting to interact with some of the community business owners and everything too, I and my wife too, she's not here, but we don't have a single regret. We're super excited.
Well, really, when you say good team, you have to have a good team for a seamless transition. And when you're just walking right into it, and it seems like the train never stopped, it was just, let's keep moving forward. That's awesome.
Yes, we got 2 techs on staff. So you think about as far as being out there in the field, putting signs up between that or billboards, and then have a full-time graphic designer on staff, and then a project manager as well, that answering phones and kind of pushing the projects along. So we jumped right in. It was awesome.
Now, what are you starting to learn about the billboard industry now that you're starting to live it? Because I find it really fascinating what they're starting to do now with these new tech billboards. I mean, it's just insane.
Well, I mean, you have your regular static boards, right? And that's where I think it's nice, especially all the business and all the growth that's going on in all the communities, right? There's a lot of opportunities and interaction with business owners, but I mean, you nail on the head as far as a lot of the technology that's coming out, where I mean, you're theoretically putting massive TVs up on the side of the road and everything too. So,
and now, what's the process to get a billboard installed? You know, a static one.
Well, so that's what we're kind of exploring those options too, right? There's a lot of things you have to go through, especially with the state, and put them on, actually installing them on the side of the road. But we've had existing boards here dating back, I don't know if it was actually 1936. We've had them for quite some time, and I know there's some area sign companies here, even here in Alton, that have some as well.
And now, for your techs, whenever they're out on the job, how long does it take to get those on the actual billboard?
Man.
Because man, that's art just to watch.
Oh, I'm sure between that, I mean, there's processes, right, and being on site and everything too. But actual time, everyone's different. I know every board's different. And take it to that, or even installing signs on the side of buildings too. I mean, every job size, no matter what, they're all different.
Now did you go on the first job with being the new owner? Did you go, man, I got to stop by and at least be a part of it?
Well, it's like we're doing a big project right now in Edwardsville, the Raising Canes that's going up too.
Yeah.
So I was on there on site yesterday doing cleanup on stuff. But yeah, it's eye-opening when you look at these big signs, especially when we have them in shop getting delivered. The overall size of them, you wouldn't think, but when you're on site watching them be installed, it's in its own way complex, but actually easier than you'd think. But it's super cool to be a part of. And I think that's the fun part that's rewarding.
Well, and it's also, to me, what I think is really interesting is the graphic design part of it. Because, you're taking something on a 12-inch computer screen that is going to be 12 feet, 13 feet. It's going to be massive.
Yep.
Is there any discrepancies whenever you go from screen to billboard on any type of those graphics?
Well, so I'll say, like, our designer on staff is fantastic as far as, but there's very clear, I mean, I'm not a graphic designer by any trade, right? But having certain artwork, vector artwork, certain files that you have to save, but I think that's, when you talk about rewarding, that's the most exciting part, where you can have this overall customer experience starting from, this is what we really want, this is what we want it to look like, and then giving them options to then, depending on what the timeline is, getting it to where it is. That's seeing the look on their faces when they see their new business sign up and everything too. You can't put a price on that.
Well, and that's what I think's really cool too, because you guys are really laminating stories, and you're really laminating chapters, of a family's legacy, know. And when that new sign goes up, a lot of times it's an event.
Oh, sure. Well, and I think obviously in any case you want to help grow businesses. New businesses are great, especially with all the new development. But our best customers are our repeat customers, right? So having those conversations with even old owners that have come in. Well, I remember Ron or Sue, who I just took over for, and just the generations of what we worked with. That's the super exciting part in bringing stuff back to life.
Well, and what I think's really cool is you guys get your hand on the pulse in a different way to what's really happening around the region, in terms of new business, in terms of just, events and any type of really PR campaigns even.
Right. Well, and even having these conversations like this, right? It's interacting with, I think, where you have your ear to the ground a little bit more with, I think, some of these local businesses, right? And where they're wanting to go with their things. And I'm sure there's a rumor mill of stuff that's coming up and all that too. But yeah, as far as having your ear to the ground and getting a pulse for everything that's going on is super exciting.
What's been the most difficult part of the sign business, if you don't mind me asking? Is there? I mean, I'm sure there are difficulties with everything, but is there one that really is just something that you're still trying to tackle?
Especially being 4 months in, right? I'm still. I think I've explained to people we're definitely in the honeymoon phase, right?
Yeah.
So it's like everything's green and everything's looking good, but I think for being a company that's been around since 1936, the most difficult part I've had is there's awareness there for certain people, but at the same time having signs, whether it be in Edwardsville or Alton, stuff in our back door that you drive by and you're like, well, crap, I didn't even know that was going to be bid to be put up, stuff like that. So just
Yeah.
wanting to provide that awareness for the community, knowing we're here and how we can help and best serve everybody.
You know, that's a good point. I never thought about that too, because on billboards it's a little different because you can have your spot
name,
there,
yeah.
but on a business sign you can't really put powered by Eberhart
And
on
listen,
there.
so it's a lot of it's geared by word of mouth, and sure, conversations like this and getting our name out there helps, but it's the hard part is I'm not slapping my billboard on the side of the sign after we post it, right? So it's a lot of word of mouth. So it's slow burn.
That'd be a trade program, right? You'd have a sign on every building. It's the 618. Well, now going forward, what's it look like when a client calls you? Because I'm not going to lie to you. I've talked with John upstairs. I thought it'd be cool to have some daily show stuff just around town, just because why not?
Yep.
Awareness it's just branding at that
right?
point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What's that process look like? Let's say I called you tomorrow and said, "Man, I need something that's a static billboard, nothing crazy."
Sure.
What's that turnaround time look like in finding the right spot?
And I'll even take it back to like even just a regular building signs projects. So our billboards itself, I think we're on a wait list to actually get on them right now. But building signs, on say as far as anything is from artwork to finish, I mean, it really depends on the project size.
Right.
But we're refining that customer experience where you call and we have an intro call, kind of get what is your timeline, see if we can streamline the process to speed it up, or kind of walk through it to make sure we're achieving that the best.
Are there any tie-overs into your former, what you were doing full-time into what you're doing now?
I'm not say business is business, but I think it's with the growth of anything, whether that's a sales territory or real estate or a sign business, it's relationships and sales, not say sales, but interacting with people, letting them know you're there, and then at the same time, customer experience and treating people the way they want to be treated, right?
Well, and on top of that too, we hit on this a tiny bit earlier when we started the conversation, but whenever you have almost a 100-year-old business, you have folks that have done work with the company for decades that are kind of used to it being a certain way. So how important is it for you to kind of recognize that, but also add your guys' own take on some of the products going forward, some of the ways you do interactions going forward?
Well, no, I wouldn't be lying to you. I'd be lying if I said that wasn't not even an issue, but with any change, right? So you're interacting in those cases. So, and I think I think Sue, the previous owner, did such a good job on how she ran it too, where that was part of the enjoyable part of us stepping in and having a good team too, where a lot of what we're doing, if anything, is little tweaks to maybe bring a little bit of new age to it. But it was a good business before, and we're just continuing to elevate off that right now too. So there hasn't, I would say it's more observation mode and seeing how we can input value more than it is making radical change is probably the best way to say it.
Well, I think that's a great way to go about it because you don't want to change the wheel if it's still rolling.
Right.
You know?
And I'm not going to claim that I was here in 1936 or before and know how to. I'm not to say I'm not an expert in the sign business. We have people on staff and we're learning every day, right? But I haven't been here forever, so I don't know what I don't know. And at the end of the day, I'm like you said at the start. I think it's trying to see the customer's needs and what they're trying to achieve and project with their business and then do our best to portray that and what their artwork is.
If you had said you were around 100 years ago, I'd have thought, man, Benjamin Button's right here, Well, I was doing a little bit of research. I know the website's being tweaked right now and kind of being updated.
Yeah.
But, going in just to some of the materials, I'm just fascinated by that because you drive by the sign, but you never really touch it. You never look at it. What are some of these made out of? What are some of the go-to products, materials that are used for some of these? I don't want to put you on the spot.
No. I mean, and you got everything. I mean, from different forms of plastics, aluminum cutout. I mean, anything you can kind of think of. So a lot of fabrication goes into it and deciding what exactly you want. So, I mean, I think you have some pictures up there where
here is kitchen layout. Here, let me pull this up. We can go picture. We can go on the Zoom here on the scene. Look at that. Oh, let me take that.
So that was one that we did. It was that hailstorm when we've had a couple of hailstorms as of late, but it knocked up some of their letters. So that's actually just letters on a raceway. So on the back, you can see as far as the electric setup and individual letters. So they, I think, started with the K, and then we had another hailstorm, and another one got damaged. So we individually went through then and just did certain letters and redid the whole entire thing over time.
What a frustrating hailstorm.
Oh, man. Selfishly, we get business out of it. But, I mean, from a business owner standpoint, it's tough.
Well, and I'm looking at this. This has to be one of the coolest ones you've done so far, the Edwardsville Fire Station. That's really cool.
Well, that's the stuff where we want to always keep stuff, obviously, in our home community, in our backyard. So especially stuff that directly benefits the community where we're home based, and it's always exciting.
And, what are some of the conversations you've had with some of the community stakeholders, some of the business owners during the transition? Has it been positive?
No, all positive. And that's what I mean as far as I think there was such a launch pad to jump off of having the awareness that we did have, but then trying to build more of that too, right? So whether it's Alton or Edwardsville, there's a lot of, I would say smaller, they're not smaller anymore, but a lot of community growth going on and development. So a lot of opportunity and a lot of stuff that we can grow with.
You're right, because we're all kind of growing at different rates, but we're still growing, and that's a really good point to make. And, going forward, is there anything that you guys are looking to kind of add right now, or is it just right now, let's just get moving, let's figure out where we're at? Is there a 5-year plan for you guys right now, or is it just let's just keep moving?
Yeah, and like I said, kind of observation mode, especially for this first year. I've always been probably overly ambitious in a way, right? So I want to have ideas of doubling, tripling the business. I think any business owner, if you're not growing, you're dying, right?
Right.
But we have ambitious goals as far as metrics we want to hit. But for right now, it's kind of getting awareness. I know you mentioned the website, a lot of rebranding going on. We updated our logo. So in 4 months, I feel like, and I would think if you ask our team too, there's been a lot of small changes that have had drastic results, right? So getting a little bit more of a social media presence and everything. So a lot of small changes that are making a big difference that, over time, I think we're going to see reap benefits here long term as well.
Man, I got to get some of those cookies with your logo. Well, and I'm serious. This is really cool to get the chance to talk with you a little bit, because I know that you guys are busy, especially 4 months in, and you're trying to keep things moving. But you're right. It's good to inform the public, especially on a namesake business.
Sure.
What's the next generation looking like? And for new business owners, for older business owners, for anybody alike that's interested, what's the best way to kind of start that process that going forward with you guys?
So my personal email, if you want to reach out to me directly, is just michael@eberhartsigns.net. I personally always prefer a phone call because I feel like you get that more of that,
me too,
the better interaction, right? So our office line is 618-656-7256. Either one of those to start I guess we always like to schedule from our processes and customer experience an intro call to kind of best understand what they're looking for and see what their needs can.
Michael, I could tell that you're going to be set for greatness because I've had 10-year veterans at companies not remember their phone number off the top of the head. That was pretty good.
It's written on my hand.
Anytime you want to come on, man, fill us in on what you're doing, any new projects, let us know. You're more than welcome. The door's open. And for more information, you can give this number a ring again, 618-656-7256. And whenever the website's back up and running, it'll be eberhartsigns.net.
Yep.
We're going to keep the domain.
Yep. Absolutely.
Good call.
Yeah.
10:46, a little bit of change. We wrap up this Tuesday morning right after this in the heart of the 618.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. You know, this has to be one of the first times you guys have seen me without hairspray. How about that? 10:50. Time to recognize some buffoons. All-Star Award hitting you on this 23rd day of April on RiverBender.com. Let's do it. So, this one is not an All-Star Award, but I believe Sydney upstairs could qualify for this. I believe she said on Blog Talk she has never seen Star Wars. So if you're like Sydney, I don't know for sure. Sydney, text me so I know if I'm right or wrong here. A financial advice website is seeking someone who has never seen a single Star Wars movie to watch every film in the saga and make $1,000 in the process. Finance Buzz has announced the upcoming Star Wars Day, aka May the 4th, by paying someone $1,000 to watch all 9 Skywalker saga films. The website said the chosen candidate will watch each episode in release order. You can't start 1 to 9 or whatever it is now. You got to start 6, go down, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. And then you're good to go. I know, it doesn't make sense. We just keep moving and we just chuckle along too. All right. I wouldn't want to upset this kid in a supermarket. A 9-year-old winner of a European seagull imitating contest has an origin story worthy of a Marvel hero after being bitten by a seagull. Oh, God. Derbyshire, England, a boy named Cooper Wallace, a.k.a. Seagull Boy, wore full seagull regalia, and he showed off his skills at the European Championship goal screeching event in Belgium. Wallace took up the art of hole screeching after being nipped by a seagull during a trip to a beach, and he never looked back. The champion told the Times of London, "I just wanted to make the noise I remembered. I got pecked by one, but I like seagulls." The boy said he has deep respect for seagulls and said his imitation is more tribute than mockery. That's beauty. There's beauty in everything, and this kid is definitely an all-star. Wallace's mother, Lauren, said her family learned of the competition and tried to dissuade her son from, after a stranger overheard Cooper practicing his calls in public and suggested he enter. The judge analyzed each contestant by criteria, including the call themselves, the competitor's seagull garb, and their ability to emulate seabird behavior. Wallace showed off by pecking at his sister's French fries. I can't. This is just bad. He scored a total of 92 points out of 100, handily winning the juvenile category, which I feel like that could probably be the entire category of the competition. The most points by any competitor in any age range of the event. Oh, God. My school friends thought it was annoying at first, but now I realized they were the ones that are, but now they don't. I did it. God. Oh, how many nuggies did that one get? Hey, one final thing for you today before I take you back to regular news. Medical experts in Australia are literally pleading with snake bite victims. Okay? And this is really scary. Let me catch my breath. That seagull stupidity just took my breath away here. So Dr. Adam Michael, you can't trust a man with two first names, director of emergency medicine at the Bundaberg Hospital in Queensland, said that a suspected snake bite victim came in earlier this month, but they brought the highly venomous eastern brown snake in a poorly secured plastic container. Folks, use your damn common sense. The staff got a fright and the serious consequence of that is it delays people's time for treatment. We want people to be able to get seen and assessed quickly, and having a live snake in the department slows up that process. This ain't a garter snake. This is one of the most venomous snakes in the world they're bringing in. And could you imagine? You're in the car with a little Ziploc or Tupperware container that you had grandma's spaghetti in for 4 years. It's still stained even though it's been in the dishwasher 48 times. You got that in the car, okay? All of a sudden, you hit a pothole, especially if you're driving on Alton roads. You're going to hit at least 45 on the way to OSF. You hit one, that container pops up, and then you got a venomous snake running loose slithering loose in your car. No, thank you. Well, it's pretty dangerous because no one in the hospital will be able to identify it. That's what Dr. Jeff Istbister, a clinical toxicology researcher for the University of Newcastle, is saying. He says himself he's heard of several cases where a snake bite victim is bringing the snake with them when they're seeking treatment. He said hospital staff are not trained to identify snakes, but they can perform tests to determine whether the bite victim needs antivenom. So we can determine if you need antivenom, and if so, what antivenom you need based on clinical signs, blood tests, and also the snake venom detection kits that we keep here at the hospital. But professional snake catcher Jonas Murphy, that guy seems like he can catch a snake. You can always judge a man by a name like that. That says snake catcher. Said he's been out to the Bundaberg Hospital on multiple occasions to relocate snakes being brought in by patients. The Wide Bay Hospital and Health Service, which operates the Bundaberg Hospital and other Queensland facilities, offered snake bite advice on social media, including avoiding washing the area and firmly bandaging the wound, applying a tourniquet, cutting the wound, sucking the venom, or bringing the snake with you to an emergency are not recommended, the Post said in the write-up. But there you go. To the individuals that are bringing an eastern brown snake into a hospital, you are definitely an all-star, and you're going to get somebody killed. Hey, couple of updates from IDOT, or just one. The Illinois Department of Transportation did announce this morning that road repairs on, you've guessed it, Interstate 270 between Illinois 3 and Riverview Drive, I can read this press release probably with my eyes closed at this point in time, will require lane closing starting, weather permitting, on Friday at 9 p.m. April the 26th. One lane will always remain open, and all lanes will reopen by 5 a.m. on Monday, April the 29th. Now, motorists should expect delays and are encouraged to use alternate routes during this closure. Drivers are urged to reduce their speeds, be alert for changing conditions, and obey all construction signage when approaching and traveling through the work zone. For IDOT District 8 updates, follow them on Twitter at IDOT District 8 or view the construction details on gettingaroundillinois.com. That's gettingaroundillinois.com. Man, we got a lot of really cool ads going on RiverBender right now. And I was just looking, man, the Village of Grafton has so many exciting things happening throughout the summer months. Make sure you stay tuned. Go to RiverBender.com. Those display ads, I love them because they're actually really beneficial to you. Like, it's not just, need an oil change, click here. It's, information about events, sometimes even some really good savings, and there's always so much more. So there's more to Riverbender, just to news, and I know that, hey, we all are living in an ad world, but if you have a chance, go through RiverBender.com, take a look at some of the rotating ads and see what's coming down the pipeline. You can also always go over to our community calendar at RiverBender.com/events and get the latest anytime you want to. I'm out of time today. I'll see you live at 9 on a Wednesday morning. That's tomorrow. On that note, enjoy your day. Get an umbrella out, but most importantly, just try your very best to stay out of jail.
He said he would.